In this short lesson, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you how to make these little borders around the images. Now, first of all, let me just explain to you. So what yours looks like now is this, and if you haven't noticed already, I've used Photoshop to make these kind of like this light brown border on the top and bottom. But the reason why I didn't use Photoshop to make the black border around it, which I could have, is because by using CSS, what I can do is I can control the thickness of those borders. Whereas if I had used Photoshop to make those black borders, if I wanted to make it a little bit thicker or a little bit thinner, I'd have to re-edit all those pictures in Photoshop in order to do that. That's just a lot of work. So here's how you do it. So first of all, we want to go back to Dreamweaver, okay? And in Dreamweaver, all we need to do really is we need to open up the CSS page. So pages, style.css. We don't really need to open up the actual web page because even though we're editing the pictures in the in the each page, well, you might say, well, why don't we open up the each page and change the formatting there? Well, the simple reason is because we're separating the content from the styling. So the each page contains information about what text to display and what images to display, but the style sheet controls exactly where the image is placed, what font size, color, everything is. So in order to change, let's work on a cake one. In order to put a border on the cake one, I open up my common CSS file. Remember, all my HTML files are attached to this one. And because I played it smart and I named the CSS chunk of coding according to the image that it's controlling, I can easily pinpoint which one I want. So this CSS coding controls what this cake image looks like. So what I want to do is I want to add a solid border, a solid thin border. So at the very bottom here, I'm going to hit enter. Then I'm going to get a list of the possible properties, CSS properties I can modify. I look for one called border, and I want a solid color. So here are my options or values. So I want a solid color, semicolon, hit enter, and then I want to set my border width. Where are we here? Border width. Okay, to thin. Now this is not going to work, and you'll see why in a second. So when I save my CSS page, I go back to my browser and hit F5 to refresh it, and you see the border doesn't go around the whole image. And the reason for that is because if you look here, the width and the height of this cake division or text box is smaller than the image. So if I just simply delete the width and height one, okay, save it, now the text box should automatically format to the size of the image that's in it. It's F5, and there it is. Okay, so if I wanted to change this to a different value, what I could do is I just delete this, delete the colon, hit the colon again, and I have my options. I can have medium. Okay, save it, go back to my browser, refresh it, and that's what it looks like. Okay, now I personally like thin better, so I'm going to type it in. I can also type it if I want thin. And what I can do now is I just simply copy these two, okay, to my chocolate CSS to apply the same formatting. There. Oh, forgot to get rid of the width and height setting, so that way the division or text box will automatically resize to the size of the image that's in it. And there you have it. Okay, so basically that's it for this tutorial. In the next tutorial, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make the scroll bar. And the next series after this is just a really short series on kind of tying up loose ends, and that's about it. So we're very close to finishing here. Now what I want to do, I guess a small challenge here, is I want you to construct, so I walk you through the construction of the eats page, and what I want you to do is I want you to try to apply what you learned to create the hours page. So just a little bit of text, okay, and one image that's centered, the same box around it. You notice that again, I use Photoshop to make these, instead of horizontal lines, these are vertical lines, okay. And you can find that image actually in ws_gpx graphics page eats. You go to page main, page eats. There it is. Yummy. It's right there. Okay. So try to take that image and construct the hours page and see what you see what you can do.